One dead, 4 injured in Trilani crash. 1 man is dead and 4 others injured following a head-on crash involving 2 vehicles on the overhead bridge in Martha Bridge, Trilani on Thursday afternoon. Preliminary reports indicate that the crash occurred sometime after 4 p.m. and involved a Toyota Isis and a Suzuki Grand Vitara. 5 people were transported to hospital where 1 was pronounced dead. The condition of the other 4 is not immediately known. Members of the Trilani Police Division are investigating. More information will be provided as soon as it becomes available. 1 dead, another injured, along Richmond Mainwood in St. Anne crash. 1 man is dead and another injured, following a motor vehicle crash along the Richmond Mainwood in St. Anne. Commanding Officer for St. Anne Police Division, Acting Senior Superintendent Ron Elliott, says the dead man has not yet been identified. He says the crash occurred around 11:30 a.m. in the vicinity of the Richmond estate and involved a white international motor truck and an Isuzu truck.
Driver of the Isuzu Elf motor truck failed to stop when the driver of the international truck stopped at the stoplight at Prairie whilst it was on red. So the Isuzu Elf motor truck collided in the rear of the international motor truck, resulted in the cab of the Isuzu Elf motor truck crushing and trapping the passenger inside. He had to be cut out by personnel from the St. Anne's Bay Fire Department, and both men were taken to the St. Anne's Bay Hospital where the passenger died. He remains unidentified at this time. The driver was able to come out of the truck on his own, so his injuries are not considered life-threatening.
JCSA withdraws strike notice on Jamaica Fire Brigade after agreement reached on compensation for drivers' mechanics. The Jamaica Civil Service Association JCSA has withdrawn the strike notice served on the Jamaica Fire Brigade after the sides reached an agreement on an outstanding salaries and extra hours compensation for drivers and mechanics. The JCSA and the brigade met after a 72-hour strike notice was issued on Tuesday, April 29. According to the president of the JCSA, Teacher Clark Griffiths, following constructive dialogue, both parties reached an agreement that payments from extra hours worked will be instituted with effect from August 1, 2024, in accordance with the extra hours work policy. She said calculations of these payments will be completed after the relevant data is submitted from the various JFB locations, with all payments scheduled to be made in June 2025. Additionally, she said the JFB confirmed that the request for the upgrade in salaries was formally submitted to the Finance Ministry in line with the heads of agreement submitted by the JCSA. She said the union now awaits the ministry's response and the implementation of the salary upgrades by May 31, 2025. In light of these developments and commitment demonstrated by the JFB, the 72-hour notice has been discontinued.
So we served a 72 hours notice of strike on the 29th of April, and that would have expired today, the 1st of May. And we met yesterday at 9:30 to discuss the outstanding matters, and those matters were incorporated in our heads of agreement, and that is specifically for the drivers and mechanics. And coming out of the meeting, they have agreed that they will be paying the overtime, extra hours worked, and they are going to make it effective from the 1st of August 2024. Currently, the drivers are neither getting overtime payment nor on-call allowance. So that was something that came out of the meeting. And secondly, we also agreed that their positions of the drivers will be revised. They have submitted to the Ministry of Finance for approval, and that all outstanding payments, those for retroactive payments for overtime, and the implementation of the new structure for the drivers will be concluded by the end of May for payments to be made in June. So that is the premise that we have agreed on those items to be implemented, and therefore we have withdrawn the strike pending those settlements at the end of May and effective payments to be made in June. So therefore we will be engaging the Jamaica Fire Brigade again in May to find out how far the process is, and by the end of May we're expecting a resolution to the issues.
PEP changes to be announced in summer, says Education Minister. Education Minister Senator Dana Morris Dixon has reiterated the changes are to be made to the primary exit profile PEP examination to ensure literacy among children leaving primary school. We have some suggestions to change things in September, but as usual, we don't want to unilaterally do it. We want to make sure that what we are doing actually matches with recommendations that are coming in from the key stakeholders. So I expect that during the summer, I will be able to make the announcement to changes to PEP. There will be changes to PEP, she said on Thursday in Mandeville. Morris Dixon was responding to a question from a journalist at the Bel Air High School when she made her point regarding PEP, including the need for increased literacy. We have too many children leaving primary school who are not literate, and in my mind, what is the point of having a heavy curriculum and heavy material to go through and you are not literate? At a minimum, every child should leave primary school literate. That is our goal, she stated. In September, we have committed that we are going to timetable reading, which is a part of our commitment to that literacy focus. It is not on the timetable now in our primary schools, and it needs to be there because we are not serving those children well, she added. Morris Dixon emphasized the importance of reading for children with planned changes to the entire primary school timetable. The changes to PEP also matches changes at primary level for grade 1, 2, and 3, where we are going to be doing a lot of exciting things because Jamaica cannot be happy with children leaving primary schools not being able to read, she stated. The minister shared her own experience in relating to challenges with the current format of PEP. The grade 6 PEP exam we know is challenging for a lot of students, and as a ministry and as a minister, I listen to everybody. I listen to the parents, I listen to the teachers, I listen to the students, and the students have told me when I see them in first form and second form, they still feel the stress from grade 6 and from PEP, she stated. I have said to them, how you think we can fix it? I have met with the Jamaica Teachers Association, and I said, please, tell me, we liaise with the teachers and come back and let us know how you think you can fix it, she added. Morris Dixon stated, we have already started the process of review in the ministry, but we want to look at the content. It is too much content. I can tell you, as a parent with PEP last year with my child, I felt like I was doing PEP, and I can tell you that I was stressed after PEP, and so I understand the pain of many parents. I understand the pain of the children. I understand the pain of the teachers, all of the content that they have to be preparing, and that is why we have been actively looking at it in the ministry. More time for parents, visiting policy at Bustamante Hospital under review. Minister of Health and Wells, Dr. Christopher Tufton, indicated that the ministry is considering changing the visiting policy at the Bustamante Hospital for Children in St. Andrew to allow parents to spend more time with their sick children. Tufton, who on Thursday toured the overnight stay facility that is currently under construction at the hospital, said he was very sympathetic to the anguished parents' experience when they were unable to tend to their ailing children. The 30-bed facility is expected to be completed by September. A petition launched last year by a parent advocating for 24 visiting hours at the Children's Hospital has gathered more than 25,000 signatures. What we would need to do is to work out that protocol, which I have asked my team at the ministry to look at. If not start fully, or certainly not start with 24-hour cycle, start with a longer cycle. That what is allowed is visitation hours, he noted. However, he said that certain conditions would have to be established in order to facilitate this, such as space and sanitary convenience. You want to ensure that patients' care and the delivery are not impeded or affected by the presence of a family member, he shared. In jurisdiction where it occurs, family members are allowed to do certain things that actually takes the stress off the nurse who is on duty. They help to feed the patient, for example. They may even help to clean the patients under certain guidelines, he added. Senior Medical Officer at Bustamante, Dr. Michelle Ann Richards Dawson, said parents are currently able to stay overnight at the hospital in a facility on site. However, she noted that the demand exceeds its capacity. There are only 6 rooms available, and patients pay $500 per night. Parents who are from out of town are prioritized and provided with sheets, toiletry, and bathroom access. She noted that hospitals globally are moving towards a family-centric environment, but for this to happen at Bustamante, the appropriate facilities need to be in place. We try to allow parents to stay as long as possible with children, but overnight is an issue because we don't have space. Otherwise, they are going to be on the outside, and that's not necessarily safe, she noted. To subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.